We all know Scotty Kilmer is a legend when it comes to reliable cars. But let's be honest, wading through tons of clickbait titles and long rants can be a headache. So, I did the digging, and this is a clear-cut list of 10 cars he actually stands behind. And here's a surprise. Not all of them are Toyotas. Stay tuned till the end. You might just be shocked. Get ready for the cars that will outlive their owners. Position 10, Toyota Tundra. In 10th place, we have the Toyota Tundra, specifically models from the late 90s to the early 2000s. Scotty loves to point out how Toyota nailed it with these early Tundras. Back then, they weren't over-engineered. They were just solid, straightforward trucks with bulletproof V8 engines that could take an absolute beating. Scotty's seen these trucks rack up 400,000 to 600,000 miles without falling apart. That's something you just don't hear about with most full-size pickups today. No turbo gimmicks, no fragile electronics, just simple, tough reliability. If you wanted a truck to tow, haul, and keep running until your grandkids inherit it, this was the one. In Scotty's words, it's the kind of truck that outlives its owners. A testament to his philosophy of less complex, more durable. Position 9, Toyota Tacoma. Next up is the Tundra's smaller sibling, the Toyota Tacoma. And here's where Scotty's enthusiasm really shines. He calls it the ultimate midsize pickup for one simple reason. It just doesn't die. These things are the Swiss Army knife of trucks. Rugged enough for work, small enough for city driving, and dependable enough that you'll almost forget what a mechanic shop looks like. Tacomas from the 2000s are especially loved for their durable 4-cylinder and V6 engines. Both are known for ridiculous longevity. Sure, they hold their value so high you might have to sell a kidney to buy a used one. But that's because people know they last. Scotty often compares them to Jeeps or Chevy Colorados, and he'll tell you flat out, the Tacoma is the one that'll still be kicking when the others are in the junkyard. It's an unmistakable compliment to Toyota's unshakable durability. Position 8, older Chevrolet 1500 1990s. Now, here's where things get interesting, because not everything Scotty praises has a Toyota badge. Believe it or not, he's actually a fan of certain old-school Chevys, specifically the Chevy 1500 pickups from the 1990s. These were built before GM went wild with overly complicated electronics and fragile transmissions. Back then, they were honest workhorses. Simple V8s, body-on-frame toughness, and the kind of durability that today's newer models often lack. Scotty has praised them as one of the last truly indestructible American pickups. You might need to tinker with them more than a Toyota, but when taken care of, these trucks just keep running. And let's face it, there's something satisfying about a truck that still rumbles like a beast after 3 decades on the road. True American durability, according to Scotty. Position 7, Acura MDX, 2017. This is where Scotty surprises a lot of people, because it's not just Toyota and Honda on the list. He has gone on record saying the 2017 Acura MDX is one of the best long-term buys in its class. And remember, this is Scotty Kilmer. We're talking about the guy who doesn't exactly throw praise at luxury brands lightly. So, why does the MDX get a stamp of approval? First off, it's built on Honda's rock-solid engineering. Under the hood, you'll find a tried-and-true 3.5L V6 engine, an engine Scotty says can easily last 250,000 miles with proper maintenance. None of the turbo gimmicks or fragile CVTs you see in so many newer luxury SUVs. Instead, it's naturally aspirated power paired with Honda's reputation for long-term reliability. Second, the MDX delivers that luxury experience without the Lexus sticker shock. Scotty has even joked that the MDX interior is phenomenal for the money, making it one of those rare cases where you get comfort and durability in the same package. And here's the kicker. If you maintain it, the MDX holds up just as well as some Toyotas, but you can often find them cheaper on the used market. That's why Scotty calls it a smart buy for families who want reliability but don't want to shell out for a Highlander or Lexus RX. If you're enjoying this list and want to know which cars will take the top spots, make sure you hit the like button on this video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on more insightful car analysis. I'll be right back after a quick transition with Scotty's next reliable cars. Position 6, Toyota RAV4. Now, let's get back to a Toyota classic. Scotty can't stop singing praises for the Toyota RAV4, especially models from the late 2000s into the early 2010s. Why? Because they've proven themselves to be the gold standard of the compact SUV world. According to Scotty, the RAV4 is basically the SUV that just doesn't break. He said it in multiple videos. I've never seen one of these wear out yet. And he means it. Whether it's the bulletproof 2.4L four-cylinder engine or the later naturally aspirated options, the RAV4s of this era are simple, rugged, and ridiculously long-lasting. Here's what makes them special. They're compact enough for city driving, but roomy enough for families. Maintenance is dirt cheap compared to European SUVs, and they avoid a lot of the pitfalls that competitors like the Ford Escape or Chevy Equinox fall into, such as weak transmissions, electrical gremlins, or engines that eat oil. Scotty especially recommends them for anyone who wants a reliable daily driver that'll still be running smoothly after 200,000 plus miles. And unlike some of the larger SUVs, the RAV4 doesn't guzzle gas. It's efficient and dependable. One fun fact, Scotty often pokes fun at the crazy resale prices of these, but he admits it's for a reason. People hang on to them forever, and when they do sell, buyers line up. It's one of the few cars that's both a smart investment and a practical daily driver. Position 5, Honda Fit. Here's one of Scotty's more underrated recommendations, the Honda Fit. If you've ever watched his channel, you know he's not shy about roasting cars that are small and cheap looking. But the Fit is different. He actually endorses it, even joking that it looks kind of stupid, but makes up for it by being one of the most practical and reliable compact cars ever made. The Fit's genius is in its design. Despite being tiny on the outside, it has that legendary magic seat setup where the back seats fold in a dozen different ways, turning it into a mini cargo van. Scotty points out that this makes it a perfect city car. It's small enough to park anywhere, but spacious enough to haul groceries, bikes, even furniture if you play Tetris right. But the real reason Scotty loves it is that 1.5L four-cylinder engine. It's simple, efficient, and will happily keep running past 200,000 miles without any drama. No turbos, no high-tech bells and whistles, just Honda reliability in its purest form. He especially recommends the 2010 to 2013 models because they predate Honda's CVT push, meaning you get a standard automatic or manual transmission, both of which last far longer. Maintenance is also dirt cheap. Spark plugs, filters, fluids, everything's easy to access. Scotty often emphasizes that the Fit is the kind of car where you don't need to spend a fortune to keep it going, making it a budget-friendly beast that punches way above its weight. So yes, it may not look like much, but in true Scotty Kilmer fashion, that's exactly why it's brilliant. It's one of those ugly ducklings that'll still be rolling while flashier cars are in the scrapyard. Position 4, Toyota Celica GT4. Here's a pick that catches a lot of Scotty's viewers off guard. He's usually hammering away about practicality, simple sedans, or rugged Toyotas and Hondas. But when the 1994 Toyota Celica GT4 comes up, his eyes light up. This isn't just a car. It's a piece of Japanese performance history. The Celica GT4 was Toyota's rally-inspired beast. It came with all-wheel drive, a turbocharged engine, and the kind of handling that let Toyota dominate rally stages in the early 90s. Scotty praises it because unlike a lot of high-performance cars, Toyota built it to last. Even today, owners report them holding strong after 200,000 miles, as long as you can find one that hasn't been thrashed to death. But here's where Scotty is brutally honest. You're not going to get one cheap. They're collector's items now. He often reminds viewers that rarity means price. So if you want one, prepare to pay. Still, in his eyes, this is the kind of fun car you can actually enjoy without worrying it'll explode on you like some European turbo coupes from the same era. And it ties back to his bigger philosophy. Not every reliable car has to be boring. The GT4 is proof that Toyota could make something thrilling and still engineer it with the same reliability DNA as a Corolla. It's rare. It's tough. And it's a reminder that when Toyota wanted to flex in the 90s, they didn't just make Camrys. They built icons. The list is getting hotter, and the top 3 positions may be familiar cars, but the philosophy behind them is what's truly worth talking about. Before we move on, let me know in the comments, which car do you think deserves a spot on this list? Or do you have a car that just won't die? Share your story. Position 3, Toyota Avalon and Toyota Camry. If there's a pair of cars that sum up Scotty Kilmer's philosophy better than anything, it's the Avalon and the Camry. He's been talking about these cars for years, and his message is always the same. They are the definition of long-lasting value. Let's start with the Camry. Scotty constantly points to the late 90s and early 2000s Camry as some of the most reliable sedans ever built. They're everywhere. He jokes that you can't walk down a street without seeing one. And there's a reason. These cars just don't quit. Engines like the 2.2L four-cylinder or the 3.0L V6 are known to rack up 300,000 miles plus with only basic maintenance. Scotty often shows Camrys in his videos that are still running smoothly after decades of abuse. Then there's the Avalon, which he calls a Camry in a tuxedo. It's basically Toyota's slightly more luxurious sedan with the same reliable bones, but a roomier interior and a smoother ride. Scotty loves the Avalon because it gives you Lexus-like comfort without the Lexus price tag or the Lexus repair bills. What makes these two cars really stand out in Scotty's eyes is how boringly reliable they are. And he means that as the highest compliment. He often contrasts them with flashy European sedans that cost a fortune to repair, or even some modern Toyotas that rely too heavily on gadgets. The Camry and Avalon are from an era when Toyota built cars to last, not to impress tech reviewers. So, if you want a dependable daily driver that's cheap to fix, easy to find, and guaranteed to go the distance, Scotty will almost always steer you toward one of these two. They're not flashy, but they embody his favorite phrase: they just keep on going. Position 2. Honda Civic and Honda CR-V. Next, we've got another Scotty staple, the Honda Civic and its SUV sibling, the Honda CR-V. If Toyotas are the kings of bulletproof reliability, then Hondas are the loyal princes right behind them. Let's talk about the Civic first. Scotty has been recommending Civics for decades, especially the older models from the 2000s and earlier. Why? Because they're simple, fuel-efficient, and ridiculously durable. He often points out that you'll still see 20-year-old Civics on the road every day, quietly racking up mileage. Sure, they may not be the most exciting cars, but they're cheap to run, cheap to insure, and easy to fix. 3 things Scotty pounds into his audience over and over. Now, the CR-V is where Honda really impressed him. Scotty praises it as one of the few compact SUVs that truly delivers long-term reliability. The CR-V took the Civic's dependable engineering and gave it more space and utility. Early CR Versus, especially late 90s through mid-2000s, are his favorites since they came with the old-school, naturally aspirated 4-cylinders and simple transmissions that could go 250,000 miles plus. Of course, Scotty being Scotty, he doesn't sugarcoat things. He does warn buyers to watch out for automatic transmission issues on some higher-mileage Civics and CR Versus, but compared to the catastrophic failures he sees in Nissans or European SUVs, he still considers them a safe bet. What he really emphasizes is that both the Civic and CR-V hit the sweet spot of affordability and reliability. They don't demand crazy maintenance. They don't drain your wallet on fuel, and they're everywhere, so parts are cheap, and mechanics know how to fix them. In short, these Hondas represent Scotty's mantra: buy something simple, proven, and practical, and it'll treat you right for years. Position 1. Honda Accord. If there's one car that Scotty Kilmer will forever salute outside of Toyota, it's the Honda Accord. To him, it's the perfect bookend to a list full of dependable machines because it represents everything he's been preaching for decades: simplicity, durability, and value that lasts. Scotty has always said the Accord is one of those rare sedans that can go toe-to-toe with the Toyota Camry in terms of reliability. He especially loves the late 90s and early 2000s Accords, which had naturally aspirated 4-cylinder and V6 engines that could rack up 250,000 miles plus without breaking a sweat. No fancy tech, no fragile turbos, just solid Japanese engineering built for the long haul. What makes the Accord stand out to Scotty is how it balances practicality with a bit of fun. Unlike the Camry, which he teases for being boring, the Accord has always had a slightly sportier edge. Good handling, comfortable interiors, and a reputation for being just a little more engaging to drive. It's the car that proves you don't need to sacrifice personality for reliability. Of course, Scotty throws in his usual warnings. Steer clear of some of the newer models with CVT transmissions or overly complicated infotainment systems. He sticks by the older generations because they're built from a time when Honda engineered cars to last, not to chase tech trends. And here's the big kicker. The Accord, much like the Camry, is still everywhere. You can find them cheap. You can find them with clean maintenance histories. And when something does go wrong, parts are dirt cheap. Scotty always reminds viewers that buying a car isn't just about the sticker price. It's about the lifetime cost of ownership. With an Accord, that cost stays low, predictable, and headache-free. Conclusion. And there you have it. 10 cars Scotty Kilmer actually recommends. Sure, most of them were Toyota or Honda badges. But hey, even Scotty threw in a few surprises. The bottom line is, if you buy simple, proven machines instead of chasing hype or gimmicks, you'll end up with a car that lasts. That's the philosophy that helped him become an icon, and that's the advice that will save you thousands of dollars.